Hello my beautiful friends! Today's video holds a very special place in my heart because it's something that I know too well. Being jealous. Not exactly a cute look. I'm not going to waste any time explaining what jealousy is, how it manifests itself, and why it's not a good thing, because I'm pretty sure that many of us already know that, and if somebody here has actively searched for a video like this, then the problem has already been recognized. But if that is presumptuous of me, then please leave me a comment below and I will write a blog explaining jealousy in far more detail. There are many reasons for jealousy, like childhood dynamics, different cultures, previous experiences. They all play a role in how we feel today. But the bottom line is that jealousy is a universal feeling and it is extremely damaging to relationships. Now, I have sabotaged so many relationships because of jealousy. I used to be the kind of girlfriend that if you were my significant other, let's say, and you smiled in passing at a stranger walking by, I smile to strangers all the time. But anyway, you did that and I would have been like, do you know that girl? Because you were all smiles just now when you saw her. Well, why don't you go home with her then? Ugh. Holy shit. I sometimes can't even believe that was me. And listen, if the other person is giving you justifiable reasons to express jealousy, then you just need to reevaluate your relationship. But if you know that the jealousy is not so much based on valid reasons, but personal emotions, then this video will be able to help. I know why I had massive insecurities. I am the result of my dad cheating on his wife. Now, don't hate on my mom. He was supposed to be divorced. I've also been cheated on repeatedly in many different relationships. From 16 to 18, while I was doing music in Romania, I was constantly told that I'm fat, I sucked at this, I sucked at that. What I'm doing now will be the highlight of my life, and I'll never become anything better. Boys only want to be with you because you're famous, that's it. So all these things had a psychological effect and contributed to massive personal insecurities, which fueled my jealousy. Ironically enough, there are people out there who develop jealousy when their relationship is going good and they feel happy with their partner, which goes to show that, and this might not sound like anything we want to hear, but jealousy has more to do with self-love than the love for the other person. In other words, overcoming jealousy doesn't mean gaining control over the other person or becoming perfect so that they never leave us, whatever the hell that means. But overcoming jealousy is about managing our own emotions. Jealousy by design is either a worry that we'll lose something or a sabotage maneuver to give up on a relationship so we don't risk potentially getting hurt. It's a weird subconscious coping technique stemming from the insecurity that our relationship will fail or we will fail at something because we're not good enough. So the first things that most people will agree help massively with helping to cure jealousy, and that's what I did myself and continue to do, is to work on my self-confidence and to stop taking things personally. Now, I've already made videos on both of these topics, so I won't repeat myself to spare time. They are listed below for you. They are full of really strong ideas that will help. That's a great starting point. The reality, however, is that getting rid of jealousy is not a quick process because we're talking about altering a frame of mind. I always get messages asking for quick tips to change this, or how can I become confident overnight? Something worth having isn't just handed out. You have to put in the work if you want to elevate yourself above all this bullshit, but it can be done. And not for nothing, while you work on the self-confidence and not taking things personally anymore, and you follow that process, there are other things you can do, more simple things to help control jealousy. First things first, you have to gain control of the present moment. You know how people say, live in the now, be present. There are many reasons why that is a good thing. And in this case, being present, being aware, will allow you to catch the jealous thoughts as they happen. When I say, why don't you go home with her then? That is a reaction. But that reaction must come from somewhere, right? It doesn't just appear out of nowhere. Those reactions we have are triggered by thoughts that have already happened in our minds and have triggered hostile feelings, which then cause the reactions. Practicing mindfulness helps us catch those thoughts and tame those feelings before they become reactions. And as we practice, we'll start by gaining control over the feelings, and then as we get better, we'll be able to catch those thoughts as they happen. You know that I don't like to repeat myself and waste video time, and I already wrote an entire blog about how to be more mindful. For those who signed up for my free email, please take a look at the self-confidence topic from the month of February. If you'd like to read that or sign up today, I will send you a welcome email with a link to all the previously shared content that's organized by month and topic, and so you have now 3 powerful resources. Number 2, break down why you're feeling jealous. I had to figure out all those reasons I shared with you, and it's been helpful because I knew where my insecurities were coming from. So when we know where things are coming from, we can figure out how to deal with them. If we don't figure that out, we'll just continue the cycle. As you explore a little, you may even notice a trend, like maybe you start feeling jealous if you feel threatened or you fear being abandoned. Those things are really important to know. And the easiest way to figure that out is to ask yourself thought-provoking questions like, why am I feeling jealous right now? What is causing my feeling this way? When we know the cause, we can far more easily assess how to deal with it. You know, I always say I'm not a doctor or therapist, but I've been through all these feelings. So if you'd like me to make a specific video that you think will help you on this journey, please leave me a comment below and subscribe so you get notified if it's done. I always read your comments and I might be able to help more. This discovery phase and directly killing the issue at the source, well, what could work better? Once we know the cause and work toward fixing it, we also need to put some thought into how we evaluate our assumptions in the relationship. There's no better skill in a relationship than communication, right? I think everybody knows that. We hear that a lot, but it's for a good reason. If something bothers you, don't assume that the other person is going to do the worst case scenario. Here's an example, and here's how I'd handle it. Let's say that the scenario is your boyfriend is going out of town with his buddies to, let's say, Vegas. He is going to Sin City to party. With him gone, our minds are racing. We're thinking about all the girls that could hit on him, the girls that he might find attractive. Oh, he might have sex with somebody and cheat on us. He might fall in love with somebody else. He might find somebody else attractive, on and on and on, going crazy in our minds like we're on some freaking crazy roller coaster. So in that situation, I would ask myself the 4 following questions. And please pause, grab something to write with, because I think you're gonna wanna write these down. Question 1, is it true that he's in Vegas right now? Give the answer. In this case, yes. Do I absolutely know 100% that he is in Vegas? Yes. Do I know that he'll be cheating on me? Now, this is when things get interesting. You could answer yes, no, just think about it and give your gut honest answer. And lastly, ask yourself, do I absolutely know 100% that he's going to cheat on me? These are yes or no questions. 2 questions addressing the reason for the insecurity and 2 questions addressing the insecurity itself. Now, the insecurity in this exercise is that he could cheat on me. But if you ask yourself in that moment, why am I feeling this way? Your answer could be different. So you just need to insert that answer, that concern, into this line of questioning if it makes sense. Now, if one of these answers is a no, your jealousy and insecurity are simply in your mind. Unless you know for sure the other person is going to cheat, in which case you should really reevaluate things and maybe move on, because nobody should live like that. So unless you know for sure, then the worries and the consuming thoughts and all that are based purely on your own emotions. Sometimes this simple realization helps us snap out of it. Doing this on a consistent basis has worked for me, so that's why I wanted to share this exercise. This is important because we need to stop confusing make-believe with reality. And if at any point you have questions, don't shy away. Talk directly with your partner about it or with the other person. In today's email, I've shared how to effectively communicate your feelings of jealousy without sounding crazy or possessive or overwhelming, because trust me, I have been all that and it is not sexy. And the more connected you are, the less jealousy you'll experience. Number 3, accept the fact that no amount of things we can try to do and say will ever give us any control over the other person, let alone their private actions. The only thing that questioning, nagging, etc. will do is drive that person away. And for what? If that person's hand is not twisted, then the only reason why he or she is with you is because they want to be with you. Always remember that. Number 4, stress management. Feeling jealous and displaying jealousy are two different things. Oftentimes, feeling that anxiety will most likely highlight the state of mind, making it even more intense, and from there, of course, the variety of things that can happen that we may regret later. So managing stress and anxiety, believe it or not, are great for handling jealousy. In this video description, I'm sharing with you some resources on how to relieve stress in under 10 minutes and a progressive muscle relaxation exercise that's been life-changing for me, and it helped amazingly with anxiety and still does. So please check those out below and take advantage of all these free resources. Now, I know that what I'm about to say is easier said than done, but we have to stop comparing ourselves to other people. Reality is that when you're on Instagram, for example, and you're about to post a selfie, you'll choose the image that is most flattering, right? We take like 100 selfies just for one measly image that actually gets posted. And then you also may add some softening effects, maybe a filter or two. Well, that's the same concept behind what other people are sharing. Those people with whom we may compare ourselves to only share what they want to share, what helps their brand. Some of the most beautiful skinny women that I know of that are swimming in Gucci and Louboutins as perceived from their social feeds actually live on tea and steamed vegetables, abuse antidepressants. Their husbands are off doing things they may not seem like the kind of things they do, but from the surface, their lives look so worthy of envy. Meanwhile, what kind of life is that? The message is that we don't know what's really going on in somebody else's house, what kind of stress and concerns they live with, because nobody has a perfect life. Plus, I've been around the block long enough to know for sure that a happy, stable, long-term relationship is not simply based on looks and exterior things. The other person could be attracted to the way you laugh, the random silly things you're saying, or the way you carry yourself, the way you think, what you've done. Those are qualities that can be touched but transcend looks and wealth and anything else. Start falling in love with yourself and live the kind of authenticity that will pull you apart from a crowd of clones. Starting to work with your self-confidence, for example, is a hell of a start. Number 6, the reality of physical appearance, though, cannot be entirely discredited. And while doing all the things that I've shared so far to work on my strength of mind and spirit, another great thing I did to help me deal with jealousy was work on my body as well. You know, what's funny in all this is that even if we just started working out this week and haven't really created any changes in our weight or body yet, there's something about knowing that we're doing things to help our body that increase our self-sexiness, if that makes sense. I could be on a plan to eat clean and work out for like 3 days. When I find myself prancing around in my underwear more, like I have the body of Heidi Klum or something. So was I as jealous and insecure in this new frame of mind? Working on our mind and our body can moderate jealousy. Tip number 6, and this might sound weird to some, but if I don't share this, I would be keeping things that worked for me away from you, and I don't want to do that. But one of the things I did for myself once I started feeling jealous in my relationship is I outlined what I need to have, do, and be to be okay if I lost that person. Now hear me out. Since jealousy is driven by low self-confidence, that framework which tells me that I'm not pretty enough, not good enough, not smart enough, etc. From there comes the fear of losing the other person. Once I started figuring out how to be prepared for the worst case scenario, my self-confidence started growing and the jealousy started subsiding as a result. And this applies in all situations, in my opinion, not just jealousy stemming from the fear of losing a partner. It could be jealousy on a coworker or a friend. Write down how you would get over that worst case scenario, how you'd come out of it. What would you need to do to bring your life to a better place than before? Some things you've learned that you can apply in future relationships or scenarios that will make those scenarios even better. Fear fuels instability and jealousy, so being prepared to face any potential demons could be really liberating. Now please and pretty please, make sure that if you do this, you don't leave this journal or paper or whatever you're writing on anywhere the other person can find it. It will be pretty hard to explain why you're figuring out what you'll do to get over them, and that could make the other person feel insecure naturally. That is not good. Lastly, my lovely friends, we have to always keep in mind that jealous outbursts will erode the trust and closeness you have and slowly decay the well-being of your relationship. We have to learn how to effectively share our feelings and concerns without causing damage, and all those tips have been emailed this morning. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, sign up for the free email to get all these tips, and like me on Facebook so we can stay in touch. And please, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Now this Saturday is my big wedding day, so I might not be able to launch like a complex video next week. It takes me like 15 hours just to write the content for these videos, and I typically write on Thursday and Friday. But anyway, right now, like, my event coordinator was out sick and unresponsive. I have vendors still that are flaking on me. My dress literally tore open in my fitting this morning, so I'm freaking out. I'm actually gonna leave home right now. I have to be there at 5. What time is it? 4:31. So I gotta go. But anyway, please bear with me. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to post next week. It might be tutorial for the makeup look that I'm going to get the day of my wedding. It might be like a vlog with behind the scenes, or both. I'm not exactly sure, but please bear with me. I will figure something out, and I'm actually really excited to share some of my personal moments with you, my amazing friends. So thank you so much for being here. I wish you good luck today and every day, and I will see you in some video next week. I love you. Bye.